This year was perfect. We won every game and finally brought home that national championship. Slacker said he wanted a national title, and now that he has it, what is the next step for the young coach? A larger program? Or maybe even possibly NFL? It will be interesting to see where he goes, if anywhere, this upcoming season. Welcome to 688 The Bull Radio, Kansas Jayhawk football press conference with head coach Slacker Gaming. Coach, there's been some talks about some interest for several programs for your services like LSU and UNC. Is there some truth to that? Yeah, I've been approached by several programs, but the same thing as last year. There are also reports of several NFL teams needing a head coach. Do you think that is something you would do? Oh, actually, my brother received a head coaching position with the Seattle Seahawks, so I'm super proud of him and what he's done coaching in the NCAA and now in the NFL. But right now, that isn't something I'm really interested in. So, Coach, what are your plans for next year? Will you be moving on or staying at Kansas? Right now, I think the best place for me is Kansas, and I think I can build back a winning culture that we've once had here. I'm super pumped for what we've done with the program in the couple of years that I've been here, and I'm excited to see what we could do next year, and I'm excited to see what we could build this program into. It looks like your offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator are both leaving for other coaching positions. What do you know about your new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator? Well, first, I want to say, congrats to them for a great job here at Kansas and what they've done, and they definitely both earned that head coaching position. So I'm glad that they get to go out and get their head coaching position, and I'm super proud of them. As far as the new offensive coordinator and defense coordinator, I've coached with Crum before and really liked his style and what he brings to the young men. So I told our athletic director that we should pursue him, and he liked what he saw enough to come here. So super excited to see Crum here. Manning, I don't know much about, but meeting with him, and he has some great ambitions and has a really bright future. And I'm super pumped for the new coaches, and I'm excited to get them into the office and start making some preparations for next season. But you wound up with the number 2 recruiting class in the country behind Notre Dame. What do you see from this group of freshmen that can help your team win this year? Robinson has informed us that he will not be returning to football because of his ACL issues, and so we will be looking for a new quarterback, which I think we grabbed a great freshman in Jax Blanton. As for the defensive side, we have lost a few guys over there, but we recruited and signed a couple of corners, one being Josh Higgins. And so I'm super amped to see what the defense is going to look like this year. But ultimately, our quarterback position is definitely up for grabs between a couple freshmen. With a couple of big names gone on that defensive side, like Hugh Bix, are you going to have this type of defense you had in the last few years? We don't know that yet. The last 2 seasons, we had a top defense in the nation both seasons, and I'm not sure if that team will be this great this year. But I do know Hugh was a big part of the defense, and we will be missing him. But, he's definitely NFL ready. He was NFL ready last year, but he wanted to come back and win that national championship. So I'm glad that we were able to do that for him. But, yeah, he's definitely ready for the NFL. But I do know that this defense squad is ready to step up and take the challenge, though. Coach, what are your thoughts about the Big 12 adding a few teams now like BYU, Cincinnati, Toledo, Louisville, UCF, UTSA, and UTEP? I love it. With Oklahoma and Texas leaving to go to the SEC, we needed some new blood in the conference, and we've seen that with Houston and SMU the last couple of years. So they've done their 1 year in the Big 12, and they played pretty darn good. So I'm pumped to see what the new additions will do in a few years. I think that the Big 12 has no slouches, and I think we have the best potential to put teams in the playoffs every year. Thank you so much, Coach. This is 688 The Bull, Kansas Jayhawk Football Radio. Next week, we'll be going over the grueling schedule that Kansas has and taking a look at some potential starters and recruits for next year's class. This is 688 The Bull Radio, and we will see you next week.